want to know why your Thursday edition is always live here on Eswatini TV, we'll touch on a couple of issues that include table tennis, that include motorsport. We touch on cycling, border to border, football, Setlang Semnigati, the results on Tuesday, and the grand closing of M10 Premier League season 2021-2022. Hello and welcome. A beautiful Thursday. We are once again live. Don't go anywhere because a lot is going to be taking place. Mouth-watering show where we touch on a couple of issues that include national championships, both for motorsports over the weekend, now building up to table tennis this coming weekend. It's just parking. It's just too much. Don't go anywhere because guests will be in the studio, our in-house analysts who were just down there in the Republic of South Africa to watch closely Setlang Semnigati, especially in Dlamini. He's back to give us a proper feedback of what happened in that game between Setlang Semnigati and Burkina Faso. Otherwise, sit tight because we are live on all the channels. It is on Eswatini TV app, we're live on YouTube, and we're also live on your school channel at home. President wa Eswatini table tennis, ligama lakhe nguPhesi wakaZulu. Nguvusele babezulu.
Yeah, sikuvusele msonera njani futhi.
Besibukela tindzaba babezulu sibonile ukuthi kokucala nca likhethelwe sive lemidlalo we table tennis litawuphuma kule nyanga lesethu. But before usifika ukuthi litawuphuma, there's a big event this coming weekend. Lapho khona singasho ukuthi ndabeni khetha the players, the national team players, who will then later on kumelela live ngaphandle emidlalweni yama championships.
Yes, siqiniso msanera, siyabonga kakhulu, sivuselene maswati onke veni laba babukeli.
Yes,
i-table tennis kuleli viki leli kusho ukuthi ngemgcibelo mhla ka-11 kaManzini eBosco Skill Center. Sistabe sine tournament lapho khona which is i-national tournament lapho khona sistabe sidlalisa bonke laba khona ema teams la khona eveni la sitaw khona kukhetha ke kuhlunga ukuthi ngubani lesitaba number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 labo ke lesitaba khona ke bese sesiyabacelela ukuthi bahambe bayodlala eSouth Africa la simenywa khona. South Africa ke simenywa through region 5. Member la ka region 5. So kule tournament kutholakala ukuthi nathi singaba khona kule tournament sitokhona kuba khona sitokhona ukukhombisa likhono lethu simaswati. Ku region 5 ke singena sesifakwa ngu-Africa Table Tennis Federation nayo lo phethwe ngu-ITTF. Sesicishe ke singene ukutotonke leti nhlangothi, so lokuhamba kwethu sekusuka le ku motherboard kuhambe kugcine kufikele phansi kulama qualifiers ke labatawu qualifier kule tournament letabe South Africa mhla ka 30 June to 2 July. Batabe sebahamba bayodlala eAlgeria lapho batabe basebahlungelwa khona for iWorld Cup letaba khona itabe seDurban eSouth Africa nga-2023. Msakade.
Babezulu ngiyathi ukuthi nasikhuluma as president wayedlala i-table tennis as a player bomdlali nje at some point in the early 20s, in the early 90s, but sikhuluma ukuthi vele kusukela le sports abakhona even sitabe sicala kuphuma la ngaphandle ukuthi bakhona kusimelela kutabe kucala nje kwendeka lapha even.
Well msakati ngathi kule executive nami solongiqalile kuba khona kubethe i-team leke yaphuma yayomela i-table tennis event. Vele lokhu kutaba ngumlando kithi sonke nale executive lesisebenza nayo ngiyibonga ukuthi sifake amandla kuze sibela ngoba sisebenzile le groundwork imatima because konke kufuna sikwende sisebenza nemava ngaphandle, so konke lesikwenda ukufuna cishe sibe up to date. So ngiyayibonga kakhulu le executive bengisebenza nayo kuze sifike la sifike khona sibasebenze kakhulu msakade. Siyacela nalabanye labasibonako nje la sikona khona ngosiyami sisathinga isupport etintweni letiningi ngoba sisebantwana sisathinga kubanjiswa tinkomishi sisawisa. So laba khona ukusita etintweni letinjenga njenganyalo nje sitawo sisibakhethile labatawuhamba msakati bete kokugqoka sisete kunema uniform and all that stuff besicela ukuthi nangabe bakhona labangasisita eveni bamane basizame ngalokuncane siyathi kona simo sibi eveni ngosiyami but ke naloku it's an ongoing thing kufuna nako sikwende simaswati kuya kwethu lena ke besibukela ukuthi vele mhlambe sithaba nema challenges lapha nalapha but ke sibonele ukuthi vele sidawucela kulabadzala ukuthi bamane basisite ukuthi sihambe. Why? Because bathi nasinga attend le kuthi asibizinika sithombe lesibi silive ngoba next time Swaziland naye kufuna a host so kufuna ukuthi nasiyele nathi sikhombise ukuthi makhelwane nawe uyamvakashela as so nawe ngalenye ilanga nathi ke kutasita as an association ngoba siyacala ukuthi sityofunza into letiningi ukuthi tendiwa njani ka table tennis.
Ngicela ukukhomenta Mr Zulu ukuthi I think your executive senisebenzile nangibuka ukuthi just to refresh the mind of the viewer live here on Eswatini TV 2016 Mr Pesuzulu was interviewed saying that they don't know if the association exists.
Yes,
they did not know anything. Fast forwarding to 2019 Eswatini Sport Council dismissed them to say that they don't have anything in order. They don't have anything that proves that they are an association. They were out of, they were never an affiliated member of Eswatini Sport Council. 2020, they regained position. They were once again given license to operate. I'm speaking the truth.
Yes, sir.
And when he was given the license, himself, Mr. Zuru, and the executive, was to make sure that the sport is back to action. The sport has been trying to be back to action. 2 to 3 months ago, they opened a sports center at Ngwenya, Oshuk. Yes. Now we're speaking about international participation. So tracks there is a progress. This is the right platform. My sponsors for sure, and I think maybe one way would be to say how tough will be these national championships this weekend. Ndabese Bosco nizame kubuka ini yes khona labathawuhamba embili nibakhethe but yini ntawenda ukuthi vele nikhethe i-team le ecinile takhona kusimelela
Dr. Senda uthi sikhethe team le taba strong msakati ngokuthi sibadlalise cishe bonke sicabanga ukuthi la kule first round but asinabafika sibadlalise spend ema group stages and then from group stages ke sitawusuka lapho nasebadlale from group stages sitawuthatha number 1 na number 2 ma group stages then ke bese baya kuma knockouts then from knockouts quarter finals and then from there semi-finals and then finals.
Okay. Mr. Zulu, before I let you go, but sake sakhuluma tindzaba tetimali la I think bewukhona satsinza nje indzaba emathafula and everything but nyalo sikhuluma ukuthi kuphuma national team ngiyathi ukuthi enkonveni kwanyalo uthema figures lesingasho ukuthi ngiyombamba but le team lokhuluma ngayo nje nakunemuntu ohlele ekhaya utibuta ukuthi ngabe ngabasekela ngamalini I team lokhuluma ngayo babezulu naseyiphelele kwanyalo ndayikhetha over the weekend kunama national championships naseyiphelele lolu hambo lwenu lunganikosta malini.
Msakati vele imali lephakamise emashiya msakati sike sabe senda ama rough estimates ne executive sithole ukuthi mhlambe nasingaba bo 90,000 but ke asathi noma singagcina siyitholile yini nathi setawuphuma sinqonqotha nje ngoba kuye kube buhlungu lokuthi sometimes sende into iphinze iphelele ebaleni singathi lo ukuthi bese sesibanjwa ngilama resources but ke sitawunqonqotha nje ngosiyami etihlobeni tenkosi nanyalo sinqonqothile lele kusibamba le tournament nje khona la tihlobeni tenkosi leti sitile leti sibambisile sakhona ku rent ihall sakhona kuqasha imoto yokumixa ematafula sakhona kuthenga ama nets sakhona kuthenga amabhola latawudlala kule tournament sakhona kuthenga ama trophies sikulala abasichasile ngalolu kuncane ngosiyami siyabonga kakhulu kubo ngoba without them bekude la sitaw yakhona so le tournament lena yokucala eveni le sitawukhetha squad sethu. So siyacabanga nje ukuthi nabo lalaba sitile bafake isandla lesikhulu empilweni ye-table tennis Msakade.
All right, there you have it. That is Pesizulu, Eswatini Table Tennis Association President. They need roughly, he said 90, but maybe just to round it up, let's say they need roughly 100,000 emalangeni. Ukuze ukuthi bakhona kufinyela bafike la eningizimu Afrika bakhona ukuthi baphakamise umjeka walive. Siyathi ukuthi tindzaba tetimali kulamana ngavela kusilendzaba singasho ukuthi le wonke umuntu nje angayitsinza, but lesikwatiko nje, if one is going out to represent the country, if kunesihlangu lesingaphuma sikuthi simele ngaphandle, it's ibhola, yes, but this is also a sport. They need the support wherever you are feeling touched and encouraged. If you can do a sort of kind gesture and assist this team that is going to be out of the country for the first time ever in the history of the Kingdom of Eswatini for the table tennis championship. Sibonga kakhulu babezulu, keep in touch. Ngicabanga ukuthi we'll have a team over the weekend at Bosco, and ngilapho mhlawumbe utasinika ama details laphelele ukuthi cha siba ngu5 noma seba siphohlongo ukuthi kule nombolo endatithola mhlawumbe utawuhamba bangaki bese so usa-update ukuthi netindzaba tetimali khona lenikutholako yini so far.
Yes Msakade, no ngibonga kakhulu Msakade, ngiphindze ngibonge nani mkaSwazi TV impela, because you know I remember ngitalana I was very scared what to tell Swazis about table tennis.
Ngakhumbula 2016
yeah,
first interview.
So but ke ngaphindze ngathi ngibakhona kwenu lokungilandzela ngemuva, it helps me to push more forward. So nami nangabe sengikukhona lengikwendile sengiyathi ukuthi kukhona lengidakubhoda nyalo nje nangibuya ngicabanga sengidakubhoda ngalokunye lokuhlukile Msakade.
There have it. We've done our part. You've seen, you've heard. There's a testimony. Eswatini TV sports team has done a part. We've tried to make sure that you know about the sport. Now, do also your part. Do sponsor, do reach out to the table tennis. Otherwise, next, it is going to be the Eswatini Cycling Federation's president, Mr. Zwide, is going to talk about the border-to-border event. Second edition this coming weekend. Basuga border from Oshuk to Lavumisa. What is the event? It's about fun, but what's there so much to talk about? He's going to be telling us what to expect this coming weekend. He's around the corner in the studio. But a short break as we walk out, Mr. Zulu, and we'll be back with Mr. Zide.
Pay your TV license quickly and easily with MTN Momo. Simply dial *007 *3 hash and select option 8 for TV license. Enter your national ID number as your reference and the amount you wish to pay. Then enter your PIN to confirm your payment. Once your payment has been made, you'll receive a confirmation SMS of your payment. If you're a first-time payer, you get another SMS for your TV license. So legalize your entertainment from the comfort of your home. Pay your TV license the easy and convenient way with MTN Momo.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Still with you, of course, as we touch on different aspects of sports in the local fraternity. We from building up on one of the sporting event expected this coming weekend. Another event for those who love cycling, it's border to border. Cycling, event. Should I say cycling recreation? Because it's a sort of a recreation. There's no competition really. From what I heard from around the corners is that they move. The starting point is at 5 in the morning. We can't see labanye bafike ngabo 11. That's how fun it is, just cycling. If wangathi nasofika endleleni ufika kamanzini ume kancane ungena esitoro uthathe emanzi sevele ukhona president Zwide Ndwandwe president cha kubudama ekusekumnanzi kuba president.
Hey, no, I would say kumnanzi, but yeah, it comes with a lot of work. But kumnanzi in the sense that you get to drive the direction basically of the sport towards maybe direction of it should take, and get to shape it in a few ways as well. Of course, with the input and the guidance of the bigger collective, which is the cycling community.
Sake sakhuluma ukuthi you're one of the youngest president in the local fraternity. I think it's you. If I think it's so terrible for Tech Board as a federation as well.
I'm younger than Taripo.
Eh?
I'm younger than Taripo.
You're younger than terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even. Woo! And he wants to go back to football. I told him he's old. Now, you are one of the youngest. But again, they can try to call it. See, hey, president, it's
a very interesting space because you find the elder people who have been in the sport for much longer are the ones who are more willing to pick up the phone and say, you know what, or can we do this? Is this still in line with the vision and what we agreed on in terms of the overall association? So it's very encouraging because we have those people like Dr. Futi, Babe Mota, who constantly are giving us that feedback, giving us that encouragement.
All right. Border to border, Mr. President, Zwide Ndwandwe, cycling event, one would say it's on your calendar, but for many reasons. It's recreation, it's touristic attraction, it's, a team up, team building, it's everything. Yeah. It's Oshok to Lavumis.
Yes. Yeah,
once again, second edition. I think since you've been in the office, we've seen the changes. I don't want to lie to you. I've seen the changes. I've seen the motivation amongst the executive members. Yeah, tell us about this year's event. What should we expect? What's new? And I heard the rumors that now, registration also coming from outside the country. What's happening?
Basically, the border to border is more a celebration of the sport. It also raises awareness around the sport. As a competitive sport and also as a recreational activity. So it's primarily that, but we also then brought in Eswatini tourism. You'll recall, when we did it last year, it was at the height of the COVID lockdown and all that. So we said to Eswatini Tourism Authority, come with us on this journey, because we're now saying if Amaswati are not able to go out to South Africa or wherever to visit and do their tourism, get a taste maybe of life outside their homes, let's try and use this now as a platform to promote domestic tourism. So that's one of the areas now that we're looking at. Border to border is contributing towards, say, to the domestic tourism. So that's why we brought in now a partner like Manzini City Council or the Municipal Council of Manzini, who are playing now a key role to say our starting point is in Ngwenya. That's the main starting point. It's 240 kilometers, because last year we rode 200 kilometers. When we got to Hele, we took the Spofanini route, which is shorter. But this year, to keep things fresh and just be able to give people a different feel of the country, we decided, okay, let's take the longer route to Lavumisa. So this year we're going via Mbadlane, Mbaga, then Lukula down to Big Bend and connecting to Lavumisa. But then we're starting at Oshuk. So we're starting at Oshuk, Ngalo 5 for the group. 5XN, Lamakata, with the group that then they land 240 kilometers. Then Manzini is hosting us for breakfast, very briefly. Yeah. Then again we ride off. So Manzini is going to be welcoming us from Shaleni. They escort us into their beautiful, vibrant city. They stop with us for a while.
Dude, it's a trip.
It's a trip.
But I'm interested. So to catch, I'm interested because I want to find out. One thing I want to find out is the distance. 5 in the morning. Your experience. How many hours we used to arrive to Lavumisa?
Last year it took me 7 hours and 57 minutes to do the 200.
7 hours.
Yes, the 200.
So umuntu eThekwini ufika kuqala now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's part of the experience. That's part of the experience. But of course, when there are cyclists, when there are sports people there, kukhona the group
Defuna
that's
compete,
there
yeah,
for just the social
Aspect,
aspect. We going around taking, making stops, taking photos, and for sharing. But of course, kukhona la bavangansi. I did in less than 8 hours last year. I'm targeting to lower my time this year. So it's basically just a combination of all those things because it's a celebration of the sport. So we want everything infused within the same space.
Yeah. Now, second edition, last year you hosted it, and from what I saw and what I experienced, it was a success. What are your expectations now this year in terms of international participation? What do you have already lined up for us? Calls have been coming maybe from your office requesting to be part of the event. What can we expect outside there? Now we're touching on touristic aspect of things.
Okay. Last year we had only about 5 cyclists coming from outside the country,
Yes.
South African athletes. So as of now, when I checked the figures just before I came in here, we had about 17 cyclists from South Africa coming in to just be part of this experience. So we are trying now to actually make it a bit more wholesome experience for them. So tomorrow we are taking them to Manzini to just have a guided tour of Manzini. I've never had a guided tour of Manzini, so it will also be my first time seeing the historical sites of Manzini and getting a bit more insight, and also just taking them to some of the local attractions, because we're looking at it now being an event that's not going to go attracting more outlets from outside the country, because much as they're coming in for the social ride, Lengu border to border, then we would be able to say, please come in for the races as well, because we have Eswatini has more, as the Eswatini tourism usually says. Eswatini has more, so we offering the cycling, but beyond the cycling, there's a lot more that we have to offer. So in total, we have about 135. We have actually 135 registered cyclists who will be taking up this challenge on Saturday, and of those 17 are coming from outside the country. Some of them have already arrived. Some of them are actually on their way here today, and some of them are arriving tomorrow morning.
President, you're the president. I was actually telling someone, would say, when you have a president, you don't need the minister, you don't need the maparani. You don't know what's in. But now I want to know something else outside, which also touches on this tournament and this special event, because you've got 2 sports, you, the president, and the association. You've got 2 sports in the Commonwealth. Yeah. You've got Gwanere Jere and you've got Muzishabang to represent us in the Commonwealth come July this year in Birmingham. How do you think such tournaments also contribute in the growth of our cycling? You know, is it maybe you would define in your own way to say such tournaments, do they play a key role in ensuring that we do have? Because for the longest time, I don't want to lie to you, we were always represented by one person, always Muzishabang. I think this should be 2nd or 3rd Commonwealth. But now for the first time, we've got 2 slots for cycling. To you, what does that mean? Such tournaments, do they play a role?
I think first we just to congratulate both young boys for the work that they've done to get to where they are today, to be able to, for us to be able to confidently say, please, you can go out and represent us as a sport and also just the country. So it's testament to the work that they've put in. But also such events, such social events, it's where, for me, it's the starting point where we actually sell the sport. Because when you're looking, for instance, at the age range of the people who have registered for this race, we have, it's basically starting from 16 to 60. So when you're looking at that spectrum, to say we have how wide the spectrum is, it basically speaks to the appeal of the sport, to say it appeals to the youngest, and also as you go into the sport, you can actually stay in the sport for a very long time, because even beyond 60, you can still come in and cycle such long distances. So for me, these events are the events that actually demonstrate the value that cycling adds, not just to as a sport, but also as a recreational activity, but then also demonstrating the safety of the sport as well, because most parents can bicycle, but they end up getting dust in my garage because they're not confident enough to say, so part of it is basically raising that awareness to say, as motorists drive and see the cyclists, they learn also how to coexist with the athletes, with the cyclists on the road, with the athletes, for instance, runners and the like, who are also road users. So it's also a platform now to showcase that, to say we can actually coexist within the same space. We can use the same facilities without one hindering on the other.
All right, we have to let you go, Mr. President, but maybe a shout out to special, maybe thanks to few sponsors who played a huge role. I know there'll be water points and all those things, and those people, I mean, they work hard to ensure that the activities are on point.
Yeah, very much appreciated to the sponsors. We have a few who have quite come in this year. As I've mentioned, we have Eswatini Tourism Authority, the Municipal Council of Manzini. We have Viva Beverages. There's Bush Travel Tours, who are managing some of the travel destinations in Manzini. We have 0113, a new emergency medical services provider, who will also be working alongside the emergency medical services, the 977 that they say dial from the Ministry of Health, whom we are very grateful to. We also have Sanlam, who also come in with some support. They are providing us transport, for instance, for some of the things that we need, and also multi-purpose distributors. And also we have Momon Electrical, who are also sponsoring one of the water tables on the day.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. It's a promise. We'll be there come 5 in the morning at Oshuk. And for that matter, actually, we normally arrive 15 or 20 minutes prior because we want to take the take off to show that we started the tournament until the end. So I don't want to say who will be there, but someone will be there for the coverage. It could be me. You never know. Otherwise, thank you very much for your presence. And this is one of the things that we want, promoting our local activities. We would like it when those international people do come in their numbers to take part of this local interment. Now, talk about local international. He's already in the studio after a long drive from Johannesburg. He's already here, Linda Dlamini, to give us what was happening, Sitlang, for them to get beaten 3-1. He was there. Me and you, we watched it on TV, but he was there seated in a 90,000 seated capacity stadium. He'll be here shortly in the studio to give us more on what happened between Burkina Faso and Sitlang. But before that, we'll talk about motorsport, which he also attended to after this.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. Discover just how far you'll go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience in the kingdom.
Now, beautiful stuff. We are moving on to other sporting court and motorsport. But before we move to other sporting court, a quick one from President Zwide Ndwande from Cycling Association. He do say that there is a late registration, which means maybe if you are still thinking of taking part of the event on Saturday, there is also a late registration up to maybe one would say early as Saturday morning or late hours of Friday. But one thing you can know right now is that you are still allowed to be part of the tournament come Saturday morning. So verukhona umlange nguvusele engosi. Yeah, unesimile yasegoli.
Ngiyavusela Fabrice ngithuba lokho uvusela wena loyal viewers. Yeah, ngiyasithanda lesisizathu sakho man Fabrice. Soyakwati kuvalelwa ngaphandle, soyakwati kubulala emabhodlela.
Hey, ngisukela man. Usukela ngani? Yes,
no, but otherwise lilanga lelihle Fabrice ngicabanga sema sports onke kule weekend ataba busy incumbi yawo ataba busy njoba I border to border big very big event yes Shukuma Eswatini very big event Premier League of Eswatini big event so ngicabanga ukuthi this is a very big weekend.
All the way from where you're from, there's not even a rest. You are already in the studio, you're planning for the weekend. I want us to talk about what happened in FNB Stadium, Burkina Faso and Eswatini, but we'll get there. For now, I still the motor sport. Bokona over the weekend, and it's one of the sports that we see we haven't really given them so much coverage. They were quite, not active. Things about COVID, sometimes you not know what's very in. But ubonile over the weekend, we went national championships, motocross, bonile from your pictures, labancane, labatsala, everything, and the ambience, bekumnanzi. Yini ofika mlangeni wakhanza ukuthi vele ngiyombamba lena ukuthi le sport esikhule la event.
Fabrice, njoba usho ukuthi bane event khona edwaleni baqala ke afika ama bikers a register batesta cishe titututabo ukuthi timenge moyini even the track, because the track ibese seyilungiswa kabusha, it's more like a new track, yabona. Lebekudzinga ukuthi before siyatike ukuthi nangena titututu
kuyatestwa lapha nje,
kutestwe bese seyaniselwa inyenyetwa ngemandi ukuthi itohambeka kutodlaleka because lobunanzi bayo ngilokuthi kube mandi lapha uyabona. Njoba sisho siyibona it's a new track lapho khona bafike bagibele kulela gitsilela siphakame lesitututu lokumnanzi Fabrice, lokumnanzi because timnanzi ngaloko tututu. But otherwise banvana bakhona baqala lana nje basabakhombisa lendlela ukuthi bahamba ngakuphi batocala ngakuphi, then base bangena nalabo
ilula inever master now wathi maybe kusho vele bicycle ungakhona maybe ukuthi ugibele tututu no manje there is a technique yakho ungene classini njenga driving.
Yes bicycle nesitututu kuhlukene. In fact angithi isitututu vele na ungena emgwaqweni ngicela ukuthi bese soba nale license. Yes ngeke nje umane ungene kuso, but otherwise a very very interesting sport. Simnanzi
good ma incident maybe ukhanza ukuthi kunengoti lo ukhanzile kona indlela bagcoke ngayo vele ngendlela ukuthi bazame ukuvikela in case balimala.
Yes, ngicabanga ukuthi le ndlela njoba usho ukuthi le tembatho labati gcokako nabadlala sona le sport helmet ikhona bagcokile even nale la basuka bakufakile lamtimbeni kuyaba protect nabawo abakhona ke but aba minor ngeke bese sesigcila kukhulu, otherwise nema paramedics bekakhona batoinda show ukuthi kude umvulu utasinaka limala angakhona ukuthola lisito.
Sesibona bo ngicabanga international bo Dakar what motorsports, Senegal Dakar motorsports or French Open Dakar sports khanza ukuthi nje kuyangenwa la groundini nje moyeni kushawa ima acrobatics, but I think we've got even the young ones also taking part of the sport. Siguphi must now rank in terms of the sport. Bakona bo South Africa, bakona bo Botswana who are also doing the sport. Nasibuka must seen as a country siguphi ku sport.
Fabrice nawubuka lokusike sahlala sikhathi lesithe singa compete because of i-COVID. Yes, lamanye vele ma sports bekemile because of i-COVID. Ngicabanga ukuthi bese izama yenyuka kancane.
Yes.
Ngicabanga ukuthi nyalo indlela bayindile labayinde kahle, because if taba nabamali abancane mina as much as ngibuka the end result noma the final product ngayibeka kanjalo, but nangumlibalo ya embili labamvala labancane because in 3 years 4 years time batabe sebajwayele ngabona futhi one boy wakamamba a very very brave young man. So uyambona ukuthi in 3 years 5 years to come utaba sa compete eSouth Africa, and lo mnyumtali vele washo ukuthi yena umvana wakhe ufuna kumisa ayo compete bo South Africa even overseas just to compete nje, yabona. So ngicabanga ukuthi siyadzinga letinto kanjani, siyadzinga lama competition lawa, siyadzinga labatali labatawucabanga ahead.
They have it talking about parents and those who are willing for the sport to grow to its height. There is a president, Tasmai Young, in the company of a couple of motorsports artists and other attendees on the day, telling us what is the experience like. The sport is back. How do they feel about the national championships over the weekend?
I came first because a lot of practice makes you get faster. Also, if you win, it doesn't mean you should celebrate. It means you have to make yourself feel happy.
A big break, and actually had been out for racing for quite a while, but decided to make some sort of a comeback and, get back into the Swazi series back home. I've been away from home for a long time and use my time wisely while I'm here before I leave again.
Yeah. Sesibuyile. The past 2 years very slow kakhulu because of the situation, but sesibuyile and guys are very happy to be back. The boys are very excited ukuthi babuyile to ride.
Welcome. This is the round 2 of the championship for the motocross and endurocross in Eswatini. We've got bikes ranging from the Peewees, 50 cc's, all the way up to the 250s in the MX1 and MX3s. We've got the enduro class, which is the guys that go out and ride through a little bit of the river, over some rocks and stuff. And we've got the small little guys, the supports and the 50 cc's that ride on the top on the berms and little jumps and chicken jumps they call them.
You've heard it for yourself. Now, a couple of things that need to be ironed for the sport to grow to its height. Other things that were mentioned by the President Young is that next month, they have junior championships in Finland. They've got, some of the couple of international assignments to start representing us. It's a sport, they are also making an effort to try by all means. Now, moving on, Netball Association, Beba Mugera, sponsorship here, 200,000 Marangen. In company Swazi Building Society. I mean, basically before would say this is what we need. Sifunama investment for sport ya gits. I think at some point we school would say nangabe first division or premier kusat for 50,000. 50 or 9, 50, somewhere there.
Somewhere like
somewhere.
To 200.
200,000. Yeah, but at some point they were fixed by 200,000. But now netball is also getting 200,000. This is a competition. In other words, sitsi imali esebholeni incane funa ingethu at least 2 to 3 million.
But let's not compare the sports.
Yes.
Because bahlukene.
Yes.
Even the number of teams, even the supporters. So
facilities,
the facilities. But building society over the past weekend, yethula yona imali ya sponsorisha Netball Association ngemali 200,000 emalangeni. Le mali lena 200,000 emalangeni Fabrice aksiyo for the elite teams only because lo mnyanga acaba ukuthi okay, the likes of bona bo correctional, the likes of bo reps batabe ba bangalo 200,000. No, it's for all the teams langa past it was a good day. It was a good day for netball Fabrice, because it's very, very, very hard kuthola sponsor lakithi, more especially now in the sports. Ngihlala ngisho ukuthi once waba ne mentality yokuthi labantu bema sport then we are mistaken, because ma sports in fact sports every week siyakhona ukuthi sibambe because look at the numbers lapha etule mavuso week in week out sports siyachubeka silesa abantu siyachubeka. So ngicabanga ukuthi le 200,000 njoba ngisho ukuthi ikhatha across all the teams langaphasi kwa association yaka netball, but lengakuchaza kakhulu ukuthi CEO waka Ioka abaniki challenge bona baka netball.
Let's listen to the challenge, because it's all about going far as either Olympics or Commonwealth Games. Those are the words from himself, Maxwell Chere, the Eswatini Olympic Commonwealth Games Association CEO, also in the company of Ndombe Masango, the president of the federation, together with the title sponsor on the day. These are the reactions.
Siyayinxusa kakhulu i-building society ukuthi njengoba ihamba nathi isifikisa kuma-regions, isifikisa kuma-communities ethu la sidlala khona i-netball, sidawucela ukuthi kanjalo nathi sikuthathe ngemphutho lomkhulu siwakhulise ema-teams kuma-communities ethu nakuma-regions ukuze elite wethu atowuthuthuka. Siyabonga-ke ukuthi building society naye akhona uyibukele i-national team yethu idlala, i-national team leyamenyetelwa ala. Ngiyathemba nje MD ujabulile nakayibona lokuthi ikhona into lephathekako. Siyethemba ukuthi utawuqhubeka asibambise nakuyo i-national team yethu isalungiselela i-World Cup ka-2023 eCape Town.
As a business, as an organization, we are turning 60 this year. We've just turned 60 actually. In terms of life, 60 retirement age. But we want to pledge that we are not retiring who Netball Association. We are still going to sponsor it for the unforeseeable future. So with those remarks, I'm coming to what we came here for, to announce the sponsorship for 2022-23. I'm happy to say that the sponsorship set to this year is in the tune of 200,000 emalangeni. Thank you. We trust that money is going to be used well in improving and developing the sport in the country.
Sandza kuthatha nje lelithuba kunidvumisela kakhulu ne-Netball Association kulelanga lalamuhla lakhona i-Building Society i-renew sponsorship for 2022-2023. Sifuna ke kubonga kakhulu particularly because siyayibona le activity singiwoga yendeka la. I was here a few weeks ago la khona sasinema finals e-league ya last year. Nakhona kwasijabulisa kakhulu ukubona nje ama clubs aphelele nema athletes atimisele. Nanaso le standard kwasikhombisa lokuthi improvement ikhona. So siyabonga kakhulu ke ku Building Society because we know how difficult it is to run an association. So without sponsors, without stakeholders, particularly the media as well, kungaba likhulu kakhulu ukuthi sikhone lokufulfilla lama objectives ethu. So ngifuna kushiya i-challenge to the executive wekuthi lokhu ingena ihhovisi nyalo aseyisebenzele ngemandla wekuthi silive siqualify for the next Commonwealth Games in 2026. Sitobeke sikhona singiwoga sibambisene na Sports Council kuyibambisa sisite association. Ema Commonwealth Games a 2026 sekavele abekiwe atobe ase Australia. So we really look forward. Siyafuna nanathi sinaso lesifiso sekuthi kulama team sports la khona siyayibona i-netball inalo lelithuba lelikhulu lokuthi iqualify. So sitozama ukuthi sinibambise ne-executive lensha siyibeke le challenge le sonke sisebenze towards it. Siyabonga kakhulu.
Having listened to Mr. Jeremiah, sesingavele sikhulumise i-preparations ye-national team ye-netball.
Ngicabanga ukuthi le challenge Fabrice igcile kakhulu vele because the national team already se-campaign by trainer, and after the launch, the official launch ya so sponsorship saka Building Society, i-national team yabe sesayithola lithuba le-trainer, and cishe the level uyayibona ukuthi seyiya ngakhona uyababona ukuthi base-campaign because about 2-3 weeks ago laba memetela khona le team nakuphela lama games nakuphela yona isizini, so base campaign so siyethemba ukuthi kutathi nakufika i-competition batabe sebaku ngicabanga le challenge njoba ngisho ukuthi ibhekiswe kakhulu kule national team le pass ayo vele i-association 2026 ungambuka ngathi ukhashani wena 3 years lo sikhathisa 3 years. Some of my players la khona, in fact most of the players la khona bakhona 2026, so ngicabanga ukuthi le lokuchubeka nale team kungasita kakhulu ukuthi si qualify for ama Commonwealth Games 2026.
All right, let's listen to the team coach. What does the coach has to say about their preparations in this national team?
Ahamba kahle kakhulu ema preparations hlobo sesiselectile I squad lesikhulu with about 25 players we are yet to trim it down to 14 or 16 depending ukuthi ama resources akhona then bese siyachubeka ke nekujima kahle sesilungisela kuhamba otherwise selecte kahle we used criteria lekahle lekupolicy yakanas konke sikwenda kahle nesupport sinayo futhi ku-executive naku-general membership nje ye-netball association. We do have a squad lokuselenya lokuthi sihlanganise the different kinds of players badlale ngale ndlela esifuna kudlala ngayo ngale philosophy lengifisa mina ukuthi badlale ngayo. So we need some time to work on that one. We are hoping lesikhathi lesisele lesinaso we will work on that. But nje this is a good squad full of young players, energetic. We are going to compete. Kube kude building society ngabe sithe nale national team ngoba ngabe kude labe sitawukhetha khona labadlali ngabe kude labadlala khona zosikhona kubakhetha. So ngicabanga ukuthi building society wende umsebenzi omkhulu ukuthi come to the rescue of netball. In fact lala kwendile akukavami nale mali asinika yona nje kulukhuni kuyithola anyway kuma sponsors but nje building society uthe asengipartnerishe na netball for the development of sport. And okukahle ngokuthi part of the money is going down to the regions iyodlalelwa ma juniors le kuma regions under 20s under 15s and all the juniors kanye sibona bavumelana kanjani ukuthi bayidlasa nje. So lokho kusinika ke lithemba lokuthi sitawukhula ke le sport once le mali seyishonele ndasi ingahlali la ngeduku kuphela.
On Tuesday afternoon at FNB Stadium, Sihlangu Semnigati went down 3-1 against Burkina Faso in their AFCON qualifiers 2023. Our colleague Linda Dlamini Bokonangos, the question is one, what went wrong? I think the motivation beseturu gutsi sendekahle eTogo, that's why it draw away against an 11 Togo lesingasho gutsi based in top leagues. We come back also a face of Burkina Faso, which we can say, remember they reached the quarterfinals of the AFCON in Cameroon. Bashawang, Senegal, and part of the players were also part of that skit. These are the visuals from you and colleague Patrice Msibi. What was the mood like in the players before the game itself, Master?
Spirit besetulu kakhulu Fabrice.
This is before the game.
Yes, before the game, my dressing rooms. Just before baphuma bayomapha khona FNB Stadium.
Mandi nawa ngoba
yes, the games.
Ngathi take ball mas.
But nje ngicabanga le spirit besetulu kakhulu bobona abadlali ukuthi batimisele all the players, some of them ba focus babona ukuthi bacabanga kakhulu ngegame, but ngicabanga ukuthi before the game mina nje ngibuka the team, ngibuka yonke the captain, the goalkeeper, abo Saviola, Boskali, ngathi oh okay, the national team is ready. They are ready to fight. They are ready to die for one another. So ngicabanga ukuthi yinvo leyo loyidzingako kuma players akho ukuthi ukhokhe nakucabanga letingoma lokuhlabelela. Yes, konke lokuhlabelela lokho uyakudzinga kuma players akho, but ngathi nasengibona le line up ehla kancane mathemba.
What disappointed ku? I think langlasishela khona maybe with time ngeke singene kakhulu ku line up, but we disappointed because I want to believe the same line up lesayibona eTogo, it's almost the same line up. I think washintsha kancane kule position yasenso, but otherwise it's almost the same position.
Almost the same Fabrice. Yona game 4-3-3 inawibuka, but ile 4-3-3 beyishintshile, 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, and the 3 midfielders la ngifike ngikhale kakhulu khona ang 3, but onke lawo na uthi yabuka yes Siboniso Ngwenya is a holding midfielder,
yes
Khetho ku Green Mambu is a holding midfielder, but
yes.
bekadlala 10 Sifiso Mathi ngicabanga ukuthi iwork rate yakhe setulu kakhulu vele angeke uzungabade kuba khona kwakhe, but again kule mawingers order ngala ka right bese sekuthi Phila ngiwendilwe cross lona ngicabanga ukuthi he did very well kule bhola lena yena Phila Mkhondo, but yathola ketokuhle. Imagine if yathola someone like Saviola in that position.
Yes.
Someone lo leader ngegoli league. So
take me through this score, master. Sorry to cut you. This score, would you say maybe it's the qualities of being a striker, or it's maybe defensive errors where Skarisngashoku benefit positioning, marking?
Firstly, Fabrice, let's look at the pass. The pass itself from Kwake. Number two, the run. Because if a ball, a long ball like that one, and when as a striker ubuka le ball, focus yakho ikule ball, uyibuka ukuthi iwela kuphi, and first thing lo yendako, or control, just finish. So I think that's a good finish.
4 minutes later.
4 minutes later, Fabrice, ngiyakhala ngaleli goal leli. As much as it is a good goal, but the way okay, uyamthengisa sihlangu uyahamba lengicabanga ukuthi nakhona you don't defend like that inside the box, because awuthengeki wena ngebody language, uyabona when ifocus yakho iba sebholeni, uyabona, just protect, shield lo mdlalo ukuthi anga control, angashayi, otherwise vele bese sine challenge kakhulu. The captain Lindo Mkhona ngicabanga kule game lena one of my best right backs in the league, even national team, but look at that usekhathi and the two central defenders are forced. Mzwandile Mabelesa, my best player ku national team at the moment, watholakala ukuthi sekumele ato cover the right side yale defense, wakhenzakala asa out of position. Ngicabanga ukuthi yena goalkeeper bekude beyangakwenda kuleli goal leli.
Maybe the facility, master, the stadium on its own. Maybe would you say it played a role? This is the red card, like you talked about.
The first yellow card, then the second yellow card. I think
unnecessary yellow card.
Guba Keles and Fabrice. Ngacabanga ngathi nangibuka first half the two fullbacks abesathole ama yellow card. Then second half wathola red card, and ngibuka the way look at the third goal ukuthi liqhamuka kuphi. La thole khona i red card our captain bafaka Siboniso Siboniso siyamathi ukuthi is not one of the quickest players, yabona, but bamthatha bamfaka ku right back bamsusa ku midfield, and little goal nolubuka kahle liqhamuka la ngako. Look at that. Yabona, so ngicabanga ukuthi dinvo leto ledzinga ukuthi as a team, as a technical team, le holong we head coach, udzinga ukuthi letinye tele tinvo utibone tingakendeki, because uyathola i red card Lindo, uyabona, kuna mlamuli ebenchini awungabadi thatha Lindo, thatha Msibi ayongena ku right back, ungabe hesitator, but angati kusi coach bekacabangani wathatha Asiboniso amfaka right back langena third goal kan maybe bese ngayithola chance sithi equalizer wamhlalisa end order ngeke uyam coach his favorite player, uyabona, but in this game first half
the favorite.
Yes, so I think those are the mistakes lengicabanga ukuthi sawenda. We could have won the or maybe draw kule game.
They have it. That is in that. I mean, the head coach Dominic Nene got a chance, of course, to get a couple of questions from himself, Linda, and Patricia Msivi on what he did on the day, the lineup, and everything. And this was his response.
We knew it's gonna be a tough one, but overall performance from the players, I was impressed. Except that maybe we relaxed a little bit after scoring our goal. So when playing against the best, you don't open games more, especially on your own half. So I think what is good with football is you may lose the game, but you learn something from the opponent. I think our plan was to deny them the running and passing spaces, something that I think we executed well in the first half. That is why I'm saying maybe after scoring we relaxed a little bit, opening some gaps. So when playing against the best, any gap you get punished. When planning for a match, first of all, you consider the category of the team you're playing against. So when playing against the best, there's no way you can open your game. always you close your game and see if they give you an opportunity to score.
Talking about category, because Burkina Faso is in B, we are in C, so there's not much of a difference. But a story for another day. Is there a chance we also talk about it another day? There's a big weekend coming up ahead, the title closing of the current MTN Premier League season. 4 games where the majority of the players master Bohambe Nabo Nisegoli over the weekend. Young Buffaloes and Royal Leopards. The title can go in this match. Galang, remember the first round, things didn't go well for Young Buffaloes. Do you think they can hold them? I mean, they don't have anything to fight for, but do you think they can hold Royal Leopard to this game? Leopard needs just a draw.
Yes. Fabrice, I don't think Royal Leopard itayiluza le game lena. Njengoba usho ukuthi even if bangayithola i-draw, but I don't think Royal Leopard ba ready ku surrender ku Young Buffaloes. It's a tough game le and itawuphuma ne red card le game le Fabrice ku Kalanga on Sunday.
Tough story to tell, because these are the former Premier League champions, both of them. Leopard won it the previous, 2021, Young Buffaloes won it in 2020. Now, another titanic clash will be at the Mavuso Sports Center. Now, this is not only because they are neighbors, it is also because one of them, the winner, must go to Africa. The winner must go to Africa. Swallows, it's in Africa about 2018, and Babana Highlanders, it's in 2013, preliminary rounds. Master, what is the end result here?
For personally netaba tough game, because Babana Highlanders sabithandaza ukuthi i-Royal Leopard idliwe ngale bona bawina ngibabana Swallows. Nembabana Swallows ngala itabe ifuna ukuthi iwina against yona imbabana Highlanders itobile Africa. So ngicabanga ukuthi this is the final. I-final not only ukuthi i-derby, i-final. Ma teams lane chance, Royal Leopard ine chance ku league, Babana Highlanders ine chance ku league. Mbabana Swallows bane chance kubele Africa. Unfortunately, Young Buffaloes sayitele kudlalela ku yona, because even if bangawina bawuhlala 66, lokusho ukuthi either imbabana Swallows noma imbabana Highlanders tawuthola point. So ngicabanga ukuthi Young Buffaloes angicabanga i-out Young Buffaloes 3 teams
just to
la compete ko. Yes.
Now, beautiful stuff. Tabunguphi master, sive nje kuwe ukuthi nasidala umsombuluko tabusicocela ukuthi bewuguphi.
Fabrice, before ngingena ukuthi ndabe nguphi, ngicela kushonako Monday bengekho la, ngicela kusho ukuthi may his soul rest in peace. Mr. Vusi Masuku, I know ukuthi yes, former Royal Leopard player, waphinzwa wabal official bekaphethe yona iPolice Academy, number 1 fan yale show lena Fabrice. Every time now udibana naye akutshela tinvo letakhutsata. So ngisho ukuthi kumndeni waMasuku ngithi madvuvu alohlanga lolungehlanga kulahlekelwe live lonke Fabrice.
They have it, Dlamini. He has all that in his mind. Dlamini, I think Monday to be here. We want to see the champion in the studio, want to hear what happened. Go and watch the game for us. Start at border to border, table tennis. We know you're a sports person. Good night, Master.
Fabrice.
All right, that is Linda Dlamini telling us what was happening in different sporting schools, including the national team. At this point in time, we do say we love you, and until we meet again, still